Hello everyone, it's Monica and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm coming to you with this Creative Stamping Magazine issue 113, which arrived a few days ago, and I'm really excited to share that this is a magazine I made 5 projects for, and this is my first ever commission I've done for practical publishing, and not the last because I'm already working on another 2 of them. So a really exciting time for me, first ever. So, and one of my projects is actually at the front page. Probably you've seen it on social media, or some of you actually wrote me some messages and comments on the other videos saying that you already seen it. So yeah, thank you so much. Really exciting time for me. So this is one of 5 projects I've done for this magazine. And in the magazine you get a beautiful magazine with lots of inspirations. This stamp set I use to create my samples. This Nordic Christmas ephemera pack, and I don't know if it comes with every single magazine. This Crafts for Christmas magazine, full of beautiful ideas with paper crafts, sewing, knitting, crocheting, and even some baking ideas, some recipes. So maybe if you get this magazine from a supermarket, you might not get this one. I don't really know how it works, so I'm not sure. So going back to the magazine, at the end of the video you will see another bit where I show physical projects before I actually send them off, and I'm telling you exactly step by step roughly which stamps I use for each project. So there are step-by-step tutorials in the magazine, but I recorded a video back in July before I actually send the samples off. And also I'm on the list for contributors to this magazine. You can see another project of mine on page 64, and it says here, page 62, stamping style. Monika Węslewska shares inspiring monochrome makes in Nordic style. So let me go to page 62. And these are the projects. So this one is from the front page. This another clean and simple card in size 5x7. This one is gatefold card with a touch of craft card, because I was only asked to use white, red, and craft. These are the colors allowed for me for my project. So this one is another 5x7 and 5.5 by 5.5 square card. So in a second you will see another bit of that video which I recorded back in July, showing exactly project after project which stamps I use for creating those samples. So I've made this 5x7 card on a red base. So basically I had to use only red, white, and craft card, and lots of heat embossing. So this one I create the background with lots of stamps. So I used this one, that one, and this one in the corner to create the background. I used a frame and I stamped joy, and basically it's just by mat and layers. You will see in the magazine step-by-step tutorials for those cards, so these are quick and easy. For example, this one is just a 5x7 white card base with mats and layers, and with this beautiful gingerbread man stamped in Versamark ink and heat embossed with white embossing powder. The same with Merry Christmas. So I cut them out and I put them on the card with erased a little bit with 3D foam pads. And this one, it's more has many details, and it took me a bit longer to do, but this is the card, a 10th fold card with, again, I create the base. This one I think is 5 inches. I don't have inches measurements here, but I think it's 5 by 5 inches as far as I can remember. So again, I use this border stamp, this one, to create this element here. And what I did, I cut out scalloped doily, then a circle element, and I used one of the, let me think, I think this one, I think that's the one I used to, or maybe this one of those, to create this like a frame around it. And of course on the white circle I used this stamp to make it a bit more expensive, more like card with more details. And of course everything is heat embossed, and even baby it's cold outside. I stamped it and I fussy cut the sentiment on the red card, and then I glue it on top of the white card and I fussy cut it again. So I think this one will be my favorite. On a difficult side, this one was quite difficult, and the tip is use anti-static bag to give you crisp image and good quality inks as well. Then the fourth card is this card, again 5 by 5 inches, I think, or 5.5. I think it's a 5 by 5. And again, what I did, I used card base and I used this stamp, the one in the corner. And what I did to make myself a bit easier, I used a pencil and I did some lines to create sections for stamping that image, and it came out really well. I think that tip is really essential to create this beautiful background which looks nice and neat. And of course winter gloves and Merry Christmas. Everything is heat embossed, and I used a Chinese red opaque ink from Crafter's Companion and clear embossing, heated up clear embossing powder for this card. And the last one is this smallish looking, I think, or maybe this one is 5 by 5 inches and this one is 5.5 inches, and this 5.5. I'll add some information above exactly, because I had to go to a different room to record this video before posting. So this one is, as you can see, this one is a gatefold card, and of course I used card base and I did matte and layers with whited craft, and again the same as with this card and the joy. I used lots of foliage stamps and stamped them around that card craft panel to create a background. This is very super and easy technique, and of course use anti-static bag because you might have problems with embossing powders. So as you can see, we've got craft white and craft panel with the embossing, and then I create the center with craft card, white card, and I stamp the skate with Chinese red ink from Crafter's Companion, and of course I use the heated up clear embossing powder for this one. And this one is at the opposite. I used the Versamark ink and I heat it up with white embossing powder, and of course those elements are from the same stamp set and the little poinsettia, and of course sentiment the same, embossed with white embossing powder on a craft card. So hopefully you will like those cards, and they will be in a Creative Stamping Magazine issue 113, and these are my 5 first projects for a magazine, as a magazine commission. So thank you so much for watching.